You've got it all, haven't you? The corner office, the sports car, the Instagram perfect life. But sometimes at 3 a.m., a hollow ache echoes louder than the city below. It's a crack in the foundation. You see the illusion of self-sufficiency crumbling. You think you're the king sitting on your throne, but the throne is empty. It's not meaning you're seeking, brother, it's someone to give it to you. And that, my friend, that's the deepest trap of all. Jung called it the shadow, the rejected parts of yourself you'd rather not face, the terrifying emptiness that screams for someone to fill it. This isn't about some new pickup artist tactic. This is about survival, about reclaiming your throne and building a kingdom within. So the penthouse in San Francisco, the Tesla, the meticulously curated LinkedIn profile, it all felt hollow, like a perfectly crafted stage set with no actors. 62 years old, and the applause felt like distant thunder. It wasn't the achievement that gnawed, not exactly. It was the emptiness, the silence after the curtain falls. You see, I'd built this fortress of solitude, this impenetrable citadel of self-sufficiency, brick by brick, success by success, and discovered I'd imprisoned myself. The irony wasn't lost on me. I was the king, all right, but the throne was made of polished concrete, cold and unforgiving under my backside. It wasn't just wrong, it was backward. This image of the self-made man, the lone wolf at the top of the mountain, it was a lie I'd told myself, and for a long time I believed it. But the truth was far more unsettling. The truth was, I was terrified of the emptiness that stretched beneath the veneer of success, terrified of what I might find if I dared to look. And then one rainy Tuesday, it hit me, the weight of it, the suffocating loneliness. I wasn't looking for meaning, I was looking for someone to give it to me, someone to fill the cavernous space inside, someone to validate the meticulously constructed persona, someone to tell me I wasn't just a man playing king, that the kingdom was real. That fortress of solitude, it wasn't just bricks and mortar. It was built from a deeper, darker material, fear. Fear of vulnerability, fear of dependence, fear of needing someone. The irony is brutal, isn't it? The man who conquered the world, who built an empire, found himself utterly alone at the summit. And that's where Jung's shadow comes into play, that dark, unacknowledged part of ourselves we shove into the basement of our being. It's not simply repressed desires. It's the very foundation of our perceived strength, our self-sufficiency, that's built upon a lie. It's a carefully constructed illusion designed to mask a profound, almost terrifying emptiness. Think of it as an empty throne, gleaming and majestic, but offering no comfort, no true power. This need for validation, for someone to fill that void, it's not weakness, my friend. It's a primal cry, a desperate attempt to complete the fractured self. We project this yearning onto others. A beautiful woman, a supportive friend, a powerful mentor, seeing them not as they are, but as the missing pieces of ourselves. We chase a mirage, idealizing them as the solution to our inner desolation. Take Arthur, for instance, a 70-year-old retired surgeon in Boston. He had the accolades, the wealth, the respected position, yet his relationships were a train wreck. He couldn't fathom why his love life was in ruins when his professional life was a symphony of success. He sought the meaning, the wholeness, in the arms of others, mistaking the projection of his unmet needs for genuine connection. He'd crafted this image of himself, self-reliant, independent, emotionally detached, and had become a prisoner of his own creation. His relationships were transactional, not transformative. And he only really noticed the hollow ache once he finally retired, and his day was entirely his own. This isn't about some manipulative tactic, some pickup artist trick. This is about self-awareness. It's about understanding the unconscious mechanism that drives us to seek completion in others rather than finding it within. The emptiness, the void that terrifies, isn't something to be filled, it's something to be embraced. It is the raw, unvarnished truth of our incompleteness. It is the raw material of transformation. To believe otherwise, to try to conquer the void with external achievements, is like trying to fill the ocean with a teacup, a futile exercise in self-deception. It's a slow, insidious poison, a constant reminder that our carefully constructed facade is, at its core, a lie. But what if that void isn't a flaw? What if it's the very space where wholeness can be found? What if, instead of searching for someone to fill it, we acknowledge it, accept it, and let it guide us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves? That is the journey, that is the alchemy. That empty throne, it's waiting to be filled, not with another person, but with the king himself. That emptiness, it wasn't a void to be filled, not really. It was a mirror reflecting back a deeper truth. I wasn't seeking meaning, I was seeking someone to give me meaning. to absolve me of the responsibility of creating it myself. 68-year-old Arthur, a renowned architect in Chicago, built a life many would envy, a sprawling estate overlooking Lake Michigan, a family, a legacy. But the silence after his wife passed echoed louder than any city symphony. He hadn't realized how much he relied on her to define his happiness, his worth, his very existence. It's a siren song, you see, this desperate search for someone to complete us. We project our unmet needs, our anima or animus, our inner feminine or masculine onto others, transforming them into idealized saviors. We're not choosing a partner, we're choosing a reflection of our unacknowledged selves, a temporary fix for a lifelong ache. And when it fails, as it always does eventually, the wound opens anew, deeper and more painful than before. The bitterness is almost delicious, in a perverse, self-destructive kind of way. Arthur wasn't looking for a companion, he was looking for a piece of himself he'd lost long ago. He'd built his life on a foundation of ambition, achievements, accolades, all external markers of success, but neglecting the inner landscape. Jung called it projection, the unconscious act of transferring our inner world onto the external one. We search for the missing parts of ourselves in others, mistaking shadows for substance. It's like searching for a lost coin under a streetlight, not because that's where you dropped it, but because the light is better there. Think of it like this. You're a king sitting on an empty throne and you're desperate for someone to fill the void beside you. You're not building a kingdom, you're seeking a queen to legitimize your reign. But true kingship isn't about finding someone to share the power, it's about claiming your own. It's about recognizing that the void isn't a flaw but a doorway, a passage to the self waiting to be explored. It's terrifying, yes. It's also the only path to true authority, the only way to build a kingdom that can withstand the storms. The emptiness, it isn't about absence, it's about possibility. It's the potential for creation, for genuine connection, for the deep, resonant love that can only blossom from a soul truly knowing itself. That potential, that's not something you find, it's something you become. It's a process, a forging in the fires of self-knowledge, a painful, beautiful alchemy. Think of it like this. You've been searching for gold in the riverbed of other people's lives, panning for the elusive nuggets of validation. But the real gold, the pure, unadulterated 24-karat gold, lies within. It's buried deep beneath layers of conditioning and fear, beneath the masks you wear to the world and even to yourself. Jung called it the integration of the shadow, the reconciliation of those rejected, feared aspects of the self we project onto others. Take Arthur, for example, 72, retired CEO of a major tech firm in Austin, Texas. He'd achieved everything the world told him he should: wealth, power, influence. But the hollowness was a constant companion, a shadow lurking in the corners of his opulent Texas mansion. He sought it in younger women, each relationship a desperate attempt to fill the gaping void within himself, a void born not of lack, but of a profound fear of self-reliance. He believed he needed someone to give him meaning, to validate him, to finally make him feel complete. He was mistaking dependency for intimacy, a counterfeit gold for the real thing. The truth, the cruel and beautiful truth, is that his problem wasn't a shortage of love or attention or success. It was a lack of self-love, a refusal to acknowledge the wounded boy hiding beneath the impeccably tailored suit. He hadn't realized that the women he sought weren't fixing him, they were merely a temporary distraction from the real work. The work of confronting the shadow, of accepting his own vulnerability, of loving the imperfect, flawed, deeply human being staring back at him from the mirror. This wasn't about external validation or conquering some elusive meaning. It was about a radical act of self-acceptance, of claiming ownership of the empty throne and finally deciding who would sit upon it. This is where the alchemy begins, not in seeking external validation, but in cultivating inner strength. It's a painful, demanding process, a stripping away of illusions, a confrontation with the deepest fears, but it's also the most profoundly liberating act you will ever undertake. The emptiness you feel, that's not a void, it's a canvas. It's waiting to be filled, not with the projections of your unmet needs, but with the vibrant colors of your own self-discovery. The journey to self-sovereignty is rarely easy, but the kingdom you build within is worth fighting for. That canvas, it's not blank. It's already filled with the strokes of your life, the triumphs, the failures, the loves, the losses. The seemingly empty spaces are not voids, but the potential for deeper hues, bolder lines, a richer composition. You're not broken, you see, you were never taught the truth. You were taught to chase the reflection, to mistake the map for the territory. You've been chasing a phantom of wholeness, searching for someone to complete the masterpiece you were already born to paint. A long silence hangs in the air, that yearning, that ache, it's not a weakness. It's the echo of your own inherent power, a power you've yet to claim. It's the whisper of your soul, reminding you of the unfinished symphony within. You are the composer, brother, the conductor of your own destiny. You can choose to remain on this cold, desolate throne, gazing out at the distant applause, or you can choose to step down, step into the chaos of self-discovery and begin to forge your own kingdom from the ground up. The throne, you see, wasn't empty. It was waiting for you to claim your own authority, to integrate your shadow, to stop reaching outside for validation, and to finally, truly know yourself. That emptiness you felt, that wasn't a void, it was a promise. The promise of sovereignty, the promise of finally understanding the power of your own pain. It's a lonely road, and the truth is, it will hurt. But the kingdom you will build, that's a kingdom that truly belongs to you. It's a kingdom you will not only rule, but that will sustain you. A kingdom built not on external approval, but on the unshakable foundation of self-acceptance. The throne is